My girl watches Netflix all the time, and she has it playing all night. And I'm not a fan of the stuff she has playing. She had this one show on, and it was one of these typical shows that women watch and like, and men can't stand and they hate. But it's whatever. It's supposed to be a decent show. You know, show my mom, and my sister used to watch together, in fact. And I'm walking upstairs one day, and the baby is sleeping in the bed. That show is playing for his budding mind. And I look at the screen, and what I see is a guy naked. He's covering up the pillow, but he's naked and he's screaming, and he's running out of the house on the show. He's going ah, and he's naked, covered up with a pillow, screaming, running out of the house. And I went, that's interesting to have on that's an interesting show to have playing for a baby. And so, she has this on all the time. So as I'm walking down the stairs, then she's walking up. Before I went down there, I rewound it like 20 seconds, right? So I just say to her, uh, go look at what's on the screen. So when she gets up there, by the time she looks at the screen, you know, there will be a naked man running and screaming. And then I'm like, I gotta go. I'm going to the store. So I'm like, getting things out of the car. So I'm outside, or I'm going in between outside and inside, leaving, right? And I'm just thinking, like, if she, like, even if I were to talk, I've actually tried to talk to her about it, all she was going to do was start bringing up context and like telling me why it's actually okay in the context of the show for there to be this naked man running around, you know? Like that's what you're watching with the kids, I guess. All right. And it's like, whatever. And then she does come down. She does talk to me. She does bring up, for anything else, context. And tells me about how this guy has night terrors. And I kind of already guessed that it was something like that. But like, okay. So now So now they get to throw a naked man on screen for my girl and for my kids because this character has night terrors. Like they made the situation wherein there was nudity on screen, you know? He didn't have to have a night terror then, he could have worn pajamas. But this didn't have to happen. And if it did, maybe put it in a different show. Or maybe you, my girl, don't watch the show, right? And then she's telling me about some show today, or yesterday, she's telling me about some show that was also problematic. It's actually a spin-off or like has some of the same people. I don't know. It's made by a different person, but another show that, women like. She was talking about some weird problem in that show. And this morning I'm watching a documentary about Goosebumps. Whenever I was a kid, I liked Goosebumps, but it wasn't popular. I had no clue it was wildly popular in the late 90s. I knew it was a big deal. I didn't know it was like fucking huge deal. I didn't know it was like their Hunger Games, basically. Goosebumps was huge. I didn't know. And as I'm watching it and realizing how huge Goosebumps was, I'm thinking, I bet there's something wrong with that. I bet I shouldn't have been reading that. Why is children's horror the number one fucking thing from Scholastic Books, which was like the most well-known book publisher for children I can remember? Children's horror was what they were fronting. You start thinking these things are weird. All three examples I just mentioned, the show she's watching, had playing with baby sleeping, the one she told me about last night, and Goosebumps, they're all made by, you know, they're all made by the boys from the club. You know, it is getting rail out here. You know what I'm saying? They're all made by those guys from the club, from the Hexagon team. You know, Senior Hexagram and all his friends. made all this shit that I'm talking about. The other two, by the way, are Parenthood and Gilmore Girls. The boy, it was always a boy from the team or a girl, if if that's to even be believed half the time anymore, that a girl is a girl. And point being, like, I don't know, you're allowed to like be suspicious of things. Like if my kid was watching something and I'm like, this is weird, and I look it up and it happens to be made by one of them, I'm not saying you gotta go rally on the Reichstag, whatever the fuck that building was called that they burned down back in the day. I'm not saying you have to go to storm the Capitol. I'm not saying that. I am saying that you're allowed to have whatever alignment of uh, opinions that you have, and and that's it. And because it's true, and like if that's true, then just because someone goes, you can't say that that's true, doesn't mean you can't think that it's true. Capiche? Call a spade if it walks like a duck and quacks like one, etc. Now, I'm truly not trying to speak about hating any peoples, all right, or lumping people together. I'm just saying, fucking, what the fuck? And pattern recognition, we're beyond that at this point. But God's people and all that, and I'm actually not being ironic, you know? You'll die for saying things like this. It's not, it has nothing to do with a system imposed against you. You'll die for saying things like this. God will get fucking pissed off and angry. You know, his son was a member of the club. You might remember. His son was one of the boys. Them gospels are club member bullshit. Actually, the gospels should be the opposite. The Bible is. The Bible is like 90% boys. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. Watch out for senior hexagram. Oh my gosh. It's my last statement before I get out of here. Yeah. Much love. Um, God bless, ironically. Jehovah bless you and thanks for listening. Have a good day. Oh, and yeah, moral of the story. What's the thesis of this video? Yeah, if something's suspicious and fucked up and then you look into the thing that's behind making it, and that looks suspicious and weird and a little strange, there you go. No more arguing, no more debating, no more discussion. Just like be done with it. But I don't always practice what I preach either, so I got it. They make some good stuff, the boys, don't they? All right. Peace out. Have a lovely night, afternoon, evening, day, life, year, and death. Or just try to not do that last one. God bless you. Have a good night. Okay? Morning.